Life update. I recently transitioned as a stay-at-home mom. I am a month in, so I can speak to what my experiences have been, but I'm going to start with why I decided to become a stay-at-home mom in the first place. Oh, and if I didn't do my intro already, hey you guys, this is your girl Aiah, or people now know me as Aiah, and welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you are a returning viewer. As you can see, the type of content I create, I don't stay in one lane, and there have been times where I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue creating content on this platform because people tend to have a niche and I don't, and my lifestyle isn't just one-dimensional. A few years ago, I was working as a cocktail waitress at a strip club while simultaneously working at a tech company. A few years ago, I was also single and, navigating dating and all the things. Now, I'm not working in corporate anymore and I've transitioned to being a stay-at-home mom. So some people may not be interested in my content anymore, and that is okay. For those who are enjoying the ride and the twists and turns of my life, hey y'all, let's keep it going. I've always envisioned when I started having kids that I would be there for them full time until they could at least communicate enough to where I was comfortable to put them in daycare. So that meant leaving the corporate space so that I can watch my children or child up until age 1 or 2. And it was always something that I had a desire to do. And so when I met my now husband, when we would have different conversations of what we envisioned our future looking like, we realized that we aligned in that way, in that he was fully supportive if I wanted to stay at home once we have kids, and he would be the sole financial provider in the house. So we aligned there. I think it's a blessing too, because I feel like in this day and age, and especially in this climate, there are certain spaces where they feel like women, and sometimes specifically Black women, don't deserve to be taken care of, or we should go 50-50 or whatever the case may be. It's a blessing to encounter someone who has the same vision and is not someone who uses that financial support as a form of control in the relationship. I just thank God that we are in a position to where we can afford to have one of us take a step away from working in order to focus on our child. I don't take that for granted at all. I think it's a huge blessing, and by God's grace, when we found out we were expecting, we were in a financial position to make this transition. Number 2, my job that I was working at, they offer 4 months maternity leave, which I think is great because some people only have a few weeks. Some people have 2 months and then they have to find childcare. Where I had 4 months, but even then I felt like 4 months was still way too soon to put my baby's care in the hands of strangers, because we don't live in an area where we're close to a lot of family. So we don't really have anyone that we're 100% comfortable giving our infant to take care of for 8+ hours in the day while we're working. So for me, it was just like, I'm not comfortable with sending my 4-month-old off to anyone. So I'm not comfortable with sending my 4-month-old off to anyone at this point in time. I just feel like she's too small. I breastfeed her. She's been breastfed like 95% of the way. There was one instance where we traveled, and so we had to supplement with some formula when my pumped breast milk ran out because it was like a 2-week period. So yeah, it was just too much, because transitioning back, especially once she started solids too, it's just like I wouldn't be able to control how her diet is developing and all those things. So like I said, it just made sense for me. And then finally, one of the other reasons why I decided that I would want to stay home is because I don't have the best past in terms of being left with family friends as a young child. And so I'm super protective of my daughter. You know, at that time, my parents didn't realize what was going on. My mom talks about how, you know, part of her regrets it, or, you know, all of her regrets it, but it's something that we can't change at this point. But I know that as far as my children go, like I said, am fortunate enough to be able to stay home so that while my child is in her most vulnerable state, she is not taken advantage of. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up why I decided I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom and why I made the transition. Oh, and then just another like sidebar, just a little extra note there. I already wasn't really satisfied with my my former job. I wasn't satisfied with it at all. I was pretty much told a crock of crap in regards to my development there. And then there was a lot of shady stuff going on. If you guys want a story time on that, let me know. And so I just felt it was just another sign that, you know, you don't love it here. You know, instead of spending 8+ hours a day here, you can dedicate those hours to your child. And so that's what I'm doing. Yeah, how has the first month been for me so far? I think the first month has been great, and it's equally been eye-opening. And I say that because I think some people, when you think of a stay-at-home mom, a homemaker, a housewife, you often just feel like, oh, this person is just lying around doing nothing while their partner takes care of them. And that is far from the truth, okay? Yes, in a sense, you get to create your own schedule, so to speak. Although, for the moms who are momming, you know, babies tend to run the household. Of course, we create schedules, but still, babies tend to run the house. But yeah, it's not just some easy small feed. It's not just they're not working a corporate job anymore. They're not working a job that brings in money, so they have it easy. Baby, no. I actually did some research as I was making the transition, and I found that according to 2019 data from salary.com, if you're a stay-at-home parent and you were to be paid for your services as a stay-at-home parent, you would be looking at a median annual salary of $178,000. That's median, meaning some are being paid a little less and some are being paid a little more. Okay, and you want to know why? It's because as a stay-at-home parent, you're not only the full-time caretaker of your child, so you're the nanny, you're also the house cleaner, you're also the chef, you're also the scheduler, the chauffeur, and in some cases, you're like the financial manager, because your partner may be bringing in the money, but you're also making sure that you are making the bill payments and balancing the budget. So it's a lot on you, and it's not like a start work at 8 or 9 a.m., log off at 5, 6 p.m. This is like day to night. That baby is going to constantly need you. And if you are a mom who breastfeeds like me, and your baby has now transitioned to this space where they are starting solids, so they're drinking less milk, but they still need milk, you may find yourself up at 5, 6 a.m. pumping while everyone's still asleep because you're engorged, or you want to keep your milk supply up because you have full intentions of breastfeeding or providing your child breast milk up until age 1. Yeah, so the party don't stop, okay? Thankfully, I will say I'm super thankful that my husband gets her early in the mornings to allow me to sleep in, and then he gets her when he gets off work so that I can also have a little more free time. But also in that time, once again, because the party don't stop, I may be cooking dinner for us, or prepping her purees for the week, or doing laundry, or trying to clean up different parts of the house. You know, it's always something. And that's another thing that I've learned, is that it's nearly impossible to complete your checklist, like your list of things that you have to do. It really stressed me out. I was getting overwhelmed because I felt like if I wasn't checking everything off of my checklist, that I was failing. However, I was able to talk to another stay-at-home mom who lives in my neighborhood. Shout out to Khadija, another Black stay-at-home mom at that. I had the pleasure of talking to her, and she just she gave me her rundown, like, girl, forget that checklist, because it literally will stress you out. It's impossible. There's just too much to do. So commit to just one or two things that by the end of the day you want to have done, and be satisfied. As far as the house goes, she's like, pick 2 rooms in the house that you want to make sure always stay clean. And as long as you make sure those rooms are spotless, you're doing a good job. Because once again, it's impossible. And just like hearing those words of advice, and of course just like talking to my husband, you know, venting to him, and us identifying areas that, you know, he could help out with so that my load is lightened a bit, it has made a world of a difference for me in doing this, and I'm loving it. Sleep deprivation is a bitch when it comes to having kids. Like, that was the thing that shocked me the most, that like messed me up the most. They say parenting is hard and all of that stuff, but man, sleep deprivation is what does it for me. Okay, I can adjust, I can assimilate, you know, I can morph how I need to, but lack of sleep was making me crazy. So I can't imagine what it's like for moms who don't have the support. And I pray for your peace of mind. I pray for days where you can have a day to yourself, be able to rest and relax and kick your feet up, because it's no joke, okay? It's no joke. That's something else I learned. Just as long as your baby is fed, changed, clean, taken care of, in good health, you're doing a good job as a stay-at-home mom. Everything else is secondary. You're doing a good job. As long as that baby is good, you're doing an amazing job. For me, as long as baby A is taken care of, we're fed, I'm good. Now, I am a bit of like a clean freak, not like to the point where I'm OCD, but like I have to make sure my space is tidy, so that gets done. But even then, I'm not going overboard, and I will likely at some point like outsource a cleaner so that they can deep clean the house for me, because like I said, it's just impossible to get certain things done. But I think we're doing a pretty damn good job so far. Like I said, the checklist never really ends, but I like to use a saying my husband says on some work days. When I ask him if he's done with work, he'll be like, I'm not done, but I'm finished. So for me, that's the philosophy I use. On some days, if all the things I had on my checklist don't get completed, I may not be done with my list of things to do, but I will decide that I'm finished, and I'm okay with that. I guess the last thing that I'll state in terms of, you know, what I'm learning or what I've learned in the first month is just that it's a little different being a stay-at-home mom. I don't feel lonely at all at this point, and I think a huge part of that is because I have an awesome group of friends out here who still make sure to include me in their activities. We have like a monthly girls' night now that I'll attend, and they've even, you know, put together a park day where we went walking in the park with my daughter, and we all made breakfast at one of the girls' homes. And I absolutely love that, because one of my fears in terms of transitioning to be a stay-at-home mom and just transitioning to be a mother in general was that I would be alone, because my friends that are out here, no one has kids yet. And so I am the first one in our group to have kids, and I just felt like I would suddenly be excluded from everything. But that hasn't been the case at all, and I'm so thankful for them. But I'm also looking forward to encountering more stay-at-home moms. Like I said, I know my neighbor Khadija, and we're planning to like grab lunch soon and all the things. But I'm looking forward to also building a tribe of women who are experiencing the same things that I am in this current state, so that we can support each other in the best way possible, whether it's giving tips, having play dates, whatever. So yeah, that is it for me in terms of why I transitioned to being a stay-at-home mom and how my first month has been. If you have any questions or there's anything specific to this that you would like for me to share, please let me know. As usual, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.